All right, here to weigh in is attorney at Levin Papantonio Rafferty. Michael Bixby, our friend, is here. Michael, good to see you. So we know it's a pretty common New Year's practice by Big Pharma to up prices on big ticket drugs like HIV drugs, breast cancer meds. I mean, the list goes on. Upping them by about 5% may not sound like much, but for the uninsured, this can make all the difference in the world. Can you talk to us a little bit more about that, Michael?
Absolutely. So you're looking at what's significant, and it's not significant because it's uncommon. This is a practice that's done every single year. So when you talk about it and you say it's just 5%, it's just 5% year after year after year. And you're talking about already in 2022, almost 600 drugs have had the prices increased. And as you said, these are some important drugs. We're not just talking about random things. We're talking about significant life-saving treatments. And what's most significant about this is ICER, who's done studies on this in years past, has concluded that these price increases, they're unjustified. They don't have any reasonable basis because there's nothing additional that's being given by the drugs. And what it does is it drives up the prices that people pay, and it leads to people not being able to even pay for these drugs. So if it's life-saving treatments, you're talking about somebody who can't get the life-saving treatment. Yeah. So it's very significant, the impact that this has. Yeah,
it's almost like compounding interest, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. Big Pharma's spin on this is that this hike is, on the list price, as they call it. Can you summarize for us what list prices are, what they mean, and what rebates are that apparently only pharmacy benefits managers can see? I mean, how does that impact us, the consumer?
It impacts the consumer very significantly. Think of a list price like the MSRP price of a car. Well, in the case of a car, you could just go to the next dealership. You can, as a consumer, vote with your feet. You can have competition. It's not the case with drugs. You can't go negotiate. An individual consumer, one by themselves, a PBM, a pharmacy benefits manager, they can get the rebates, they can go and negotiate. The big insurers can go negotiate just fine. But the average consumer who doesn't have a PBM, who doesn't have an insurer to go do this work for them, they're left with the list price. They can't go down to the next dealership and get it. They're stuck either accepting it or being not getting the drug at all if they can't afford it. And it even does affect, Manila, people who do have insurance, because there's features of insurance, for instance, like co-insurance, that are still based on the list price. So even if you have insurance, this still negatively impacts consumers. And what it does, the harm is here again passed on to consumers, not the insurance companies, not the pharmacy companies.
Yeah, that's a great analogy, Michael, comparing this to a car dealership and this being the only car dealership you can go to. Now, a Pfizer spokesperson called the increases modest, of course they would, and told the press that these were necessary, quote, to support investments that allow us to continue to discover new medicines. Is that an honest statement? Don't drug makers rely heavily on taxpayer money for R&D?
Yeah, come on. Show me the money here. You're listening to a corporate welfare king telling you that we need this continued welfare. Let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the money here. How much did Pfizer's CEO make last year? Over $21 million. Look at a study by JAMA on the top 35 pharmaceutical companies between 2000 and 2018. Over 11 trillion. That's trillion with a T, $11 trillion in revenues, nearly $2 trillion of actual net income or net profit from this stuff. And you're talking about organizations that do benefit, Manila, exactly like you said, from hundreds of billions of dollars of government funding. Just take the NIH funding alone that goes into the creation of this drug. That's why these people, not even look in the other areas where they're receiving government benefits, tax breaks, government funding, free money. These are really welfare recipients, but they're some of the most profitable companies in the world, and they're getting paid out in a big way. This money going to funding is absolutely a lame excuse when you look into what the actual profits being made, where the profits are actually going. Yeah. The money they're spending on lobbying, which we've talked about before, the billions of dollars that they spend on lobbying. So I don't buy this for a second, and I don't think anybody should buy this for a single second.
I think most of us don't. Real quickly, last thing here is another price hike we're seeing. If you can find them, are these at-home COVID tests. The prices have shot up 25%. For example, the rapid antigen test that you could find at Walmart back in December cost $14. They're up to about 20 now. And since there's a run on all of these, retailers are putting caps on how many tests a customer can buy. So where is the Biden administration on all of this? Where are those free tests that Biden promised 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, we don't know. They've said, as recently as earlier this week, we have 500 million free tests, absolutely free is what they've said, that are coming soon. But they haven't put any date on it, haven't put any deadline on it, and there's not a lot of details. So all we have right now are promises without a lot of substances behind them.
Oh, that sounds very common here on Capitol Hill in Washington. Mike Bixby, thank you so much. Good to see you.